There's something I can hear that I think only I can hear. They're the same song. I'm the only one that can hear it. Pour Some Sugar on Me by Def Leppard, Midnight Rider by the Allman Brothers Band, American Woman by the Guess Who have the same tune. The way that I've known it, and people have always argued with me about this one, is that I can be at work bored and I can start singing one, go into the other, and then go to the other. And no, I'm not doing it here because I don't want people to go, I'm pulling my money out of this Patreon account and now I'm going to burn my ears off. But they're the same song. It's just like... It's Crimson and Clover. That's Here She Comes by Bonnie Tyler. I was a huge fan of Bonnie Tyler in the 80s. As, you know, she was like the Kim Carnes with an edge. God, I'm old. But Crimson and Clover by whoever, you can listen to the Joan Jett version, and this song are exactly the same. In fact, I'll just go ahead and load her up. This is going to be... And I don't hardly know her. It's a little bit slower, the original Crimson and Clover, but it's the same song. Oh, Anders Lee got his 34th goal. But that's not what I was here to talk to you guys about. Now, some of these songs are going to set off copyright alarms. There's a few things that YouTube does with copyright. They'll block it in certain countries. They will mute it. Or they'll monetize the video and I don't get the money. This is going to be monetized, but I'm not going to get the money. I'm not even going to try to monetize this because there's no way in hell they're going to let it happen. I want to use this as my theme song, but I can't. Everybody knows that the dice are loaded. Everybody rolls with their fingers crossed. Everybody knows the war is over. That's Everybody Knows by Leonard Cohen. It was used in the movie Pump Up the Volume, a movie about Christian Slater being a pirate radio DJ, which is something I've always thought would be great. I always wanted that. I always thought that would be great. And it didn't happen. I sing this about once a day. Tell your children not to look my way. Tell your children not to hear my word. What they need, what they say. And that, of course, is Danzig with Mother. Fantastic song. I'm using Spotify for all this, by the way. I have a paid account on Spotify. No, I don't want to play that. If I try any Rammstein, it's going to give me problems. But Rammstein's one of my favorites, so you got to look up Rammstein. If you don't listen to Rammstein, there's a problem. Everybody should be listening to Rammstein. Speaking of German, that's a song called Miststück from Megahertz. Megahherz. Miststück is actually spelled Miststuck. I remember playing that for my ex-wife and saying, "Oh, this is a great song, and you should listen to it." And then I found out it's basically "bitch" in German, and it's about how much you hate the woman you're with. So, yeah. Oh, look, they got a concert coming up in some Mira Luna festival in Hildesheim, because the buggers won't come over here. I don't blame them. I don't think anybody's heard of them over here. I looked at one point. I couldn't find any of their albums in North America on eBay, and I don't want to buy an album and then find out that it won't read over here. And also, with the fact the van got broken into again last night, and we started on that. They didn't take anything this time. They just fucked it up. I'm starting to think my ex was responsible for that. What else am I looking for? Oh, I know what else I'm looking for. But I don't want to get an expensive CD, have it in the van, forget it's out there, because that just happens, and then have it get stolen. Excuse me, that was gross. And then with what's going on in the news, this song's become relevant again. That's NWO by Ministry. And Ministry is definitely a band that everyone should listen to. Why is my song so low? That's not my song from them. It was. There it is. See, my videos always feature me just sitting here. And normally, I'd have music going. When I used to do a lot of writing, I always had music going. That's Breathe by Ministry. Just fantastic. That song is just fantastic. And the fact that it's not even at the top. In fact, the top thing when you search for Ministry is this crap. Don't get me wrong. The Undertaker's theme when he was a member of Ministry was the greatest theme he's ever had. And we went back to the gong and the old-fashioned. I was like, oh. I mean, it was better than Limp Bizkit's Rollin', am I right? Ugh. If you're not a wrestling fan, ignore any of that ever happened. It's not important. If you're not a fan of Ministry or you've never heard of Ministry, I don't know why that would happen. The Mind is a Terrible Thing to Taste is their best album. When I discovered it, that was about 2 years ago. And then I found out that album came out while I was still in high school, and I was like, holy shit. I was listening to pop music when this came out. I was ready to just turn in my metal card right there. Thankfully, we don't have metal cards, because if we did, I would have to turn it in. And of course, I would go and see these guys in concert, but it's expensive and sold out. So sold out means it's even more expensive than it would be otherwise. If you do not know what song that is based on the gunfire and then that first few notes, it really doesn't matter. It's Metallica. That was one. It really doesn't matter. if you don't know that first few notes, you don't know one, I'm not sure why you're still watching this video. There's a lot of metal in here. Lots of metal in here. My ex-wife always had the argument with me. She thought I was able to sing. So I did the dishes one day, and while I was doing the dishes, I had my headphones on. I had my MP3 player. MP3 players were a little device we had that replaced Walkmans. Walkmans were a device that you wore on your hip that had a tape in it. Tapes were what preceded CDs. Discmans were something people never had. The funny part is that I sang "Turn the Page." The Metallica "Turn the Page." It didn't go well. I'm not doing it here either because I want to keep subscribers. There it is. I sing that, but I only sing it at work when I'm in loud places. I sing a lot at work. I used to post videos on my channel before it was a channel where I would do like 45-minute lip syncs, and I would just queue up songs. I'd put my PS4 on random, and then whatever it spit out, it spit out. So I'd have like a 2-hour, 3-hour song list, and I'd be like, I'm gonna do about an hour of songs, and it's random, and I wouldn't look. I'd be like, I'm not gonna look, and then I just go with whatever came out. That one's The Gift by INXS. That was the last album they did before the death of Michael Hutchence. And that song, The Gift, is my all-time favorite. It's just fantastic. That's No Heaven by Champion, which is a Canadian act. The funny thing is, the woman singing there is gone from the band now. So when they perform, it's a guy singing it. And to me, that just doesn't sound right. I know they wrote it. I know the woman was just singing it. I don't even know her name. It doesn't matter. It doesn't sound right hearing a guy singing that song. Because it's written like a blues song. It's very funky, though. In terms of music, I like metal. I like mostly the metal stuff. But hottest video ever made. Hottest video ever made, and I can say that because I watched it. I watched it before I met Yvonne, so I can say that. Is Break the Rules by Charlie XCX. Holy shit. I don't know. When I saw the video for Break the Rules, I called my son out of his room. It was just me, single dad, him, my son. And I called him out of his room. And I asked him, I said, who is this? And he said, I don't know. I said, that's Charlie XCX. And I said, you're failing as a teenage boy. Because I said, at your age, my walls would have been coated in pictures and posters of hers. You're failing. And he's like, yeah, okay. And that was the end of the conversation. It was funny because I meant it. And it's like, you know, I give out parenting advice, but it's never good parenting advice. Because I gave up somewhere along the way. I just gave up because I used to be, you know, the the dad off the TV shows, and it just doesn't work at all. So yeah, I just called him out to tell him off because he didn't have Charlie XCX posters everywhere. I would, holy shit, like. And then I thought, well, she can't be as hot as she is in that video. So I looked up pictures of her. You know, you look up like the red carpet type pictures, and I was like, nah, she's hotter. Wow. That's something. Who else would there be? I can name off any celebrity, and Yvonne says, "Oh, I don't have a crush on them. I don't have a crush on them. I don't have a crush on them." Maynard. I mentioned Maynard. I said, "What about Maynard?" And she's like, and I was like, "See, why do you keep unpausing? I'm not telling you to unpause. This is the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. Stop unpausing." Like they're trying to save me or something. Like, you're just playing heathen music. Don't play heathen music. You have a chance to make a difference, damn it. I'm listening on TLL. No, No, stop. Stop hitting the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. Oh my god, is Yvonne on there too? Yvonne's probably listening to it at church. Because yeah. So we share the same Spotify account, and she keeps hitting play, and I keep hitting pause and listen on this phone. She'll be texting me pretty quick here. This is funny because I'm messing with her. Come on, where's the text, woman? Come on. Oh, Brock Nelson hit 20 goals. Good for him. Good for him. Columbus and Toronto are playing. I'm talking to you guys. Oh, come on. That's kind of funny, though, that out of nowhere her church music takes over. Okay, so I'll let her listen to it on her phone. I just messed with it for a while. My daily mix. I'll just tell you guys what's in my daily mix that I listen to. Paralyzer by Finger 11. That's a fantastic song. Five Finger Death Punch. Well, that's the band we went to our first date to listen to. It was Five Finger Death Punch, Papa Roach. There was a few of them. Limp Bizkit. No, that's definitely for her. Perfect Circle's in there. Korn. Absolutely love Korn. Any Korn I would recommend. Coming Undone. Evolution. Got the Life. Freak on a Leash. Oh, the Islanders ahead 3-0 on Ottawa. Poor Condon. Ottawa's like, well, you don't care. Condon's like, well, I do. I want a job next year. Can we not kill my stats? Oh, You Spin Me Round. Should I make her church listen to You Spin Me Round, or should I make her church listen to Closer by Nine Inch Nails? No, I'm not going to do that. Because it's 3:30, so I assume she's still at church, and she's leading little kids, so I'm... God, that would be funny, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not. So anyways, I figured I would do a video here where I'm just Shannon, and that I'm not on about hockey, and discuss my tastes in music, because I have my movie and TV channel, which is just gathering dust right now. Movies and TV is tricky because the only TV that we watch regularly is Samantha Bee, John Oliver, sometimes The Daily Show. It's all politics, and I don't want to discuss politics online because I don't want to discuss politics online. It's just a bad idea. And then, I've got her watching Orphan Black. Orphan Black comes back this month, and I've only got her partway through season 2, and season 5 is starting in a couple weeks. So, and then Doctor Who starts in a couple weeks. I'll be doing reviews on every episode of Doctor Who, which will probably get my channel kickstarted over there. But we'll see what happens. All right, it's been 20 minutes. I've taken up enough of your time. What other songs can I recommend? Red Hot Chili Peppers, Can't Stop. That song's amazing. I sing that a lot. Secret Separation by The Fix. That's with 2 X's. I absolutely love that song. And One Thing Leads to Another by The Fix, of course. But Secret Separation's kind of their lost hit. Anything by Rammstein that's not the last few songs of Rosenrot. Because Rosenrot was their album they used to burn off their record deal so they could get themselves freed. And then they only did 1 album after they got freed, so I don't know what the point of that was. Maybe they just didn't want to be in the studio and the record company wanted them to be in the studio a little more. Makes sense. Anything by Tool. There's no Tool on Spotify. I'm listening to the Beatles because Yvonne listens to the Beatles. I'm more into the later Beatles than the earlier Beatles, though. Like, While My Guitar Gently Weeps, Helter Skelter, Maxwell Silver Hammer, which I actually think is kind of one of their earlier songs. If I think about it. Maxwell Silver Hammer is a great song. Because you realize it's about killing people pretty early on, and you're like, wow, and they got this through past the censors, huh? That's pretty awesome. So, anyways, I just figured I'd do a fun video for my patrons. And just about music. Let me know, comment what your favorite is. I try, like, there's a band called Grimner, Grimner, which is this weird folk metal music. And El Tierta is their main hit. I want to say I'm pronouncing that correctly. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Somebody can let me know in the comments below if I'm butchering it. But El Tierta is their main hit. It starts with L-E-D-J, so probably. Fantastic song, fantastic band. Lots of fun to listen to. I love with the internet age where you kids have an advantage over when I was younger, is I had to go basically by what was on the radio. And Underground was Underground, but Underground only worked with passing tapes around at school and having somebody who says, I've discovered this band, and even then, you had to be able to get that music. You had to be able to go into a record store and say, I want this, and not have the guy behind the counter going, we can't even order that. It's not even in the library. So what you have with the internet now is another German band I thought of was Icebreaker. And Icebreaker is just the lead singer of Megahertz. When he left, Icebreaker, which is E-I-S-B-R-E-C-H-E-R, he moved out on his own and did his own, like, it's like dance, but it's dark. It's this dark dance trance thing. There are so many things. Eisenfunk is another really good one. Eisenfunk is tons of fun. E-I-S-E-N-F-U-N-K. Eisenfunk has a whole album that sounds like 8-bit video games from the 80s. And it's fun. It's lots of fun. The advantage to music now, and I know artists complain they don't make the same amount of money that they used to. You know what? Artists used to complain in the 80s because the record companies made all the money. And record sales, like you'd pay $10 for a record or a tape or a CD, the artist would get 5 cents. 5 cents out of that $10 went to the artist. The record company made a lot of money. So when I hear artists complaining, like, we don't make any money off Spotify, you didn't make any money off your record sales either. Your money comes through concerts and touring. And what allowing your music to be available on something like Spotify does is, A, it gets your music out there right away. B, you're going around the record companies, so they're not making the money. And C, if you're putting out quality stuff, people will listen to it and they'll buy tickets to see you in concert, which is where you make your real money. That's why the Grateful Dead toured forever, because they knew that's where you make money. And it's probably a good way to get cheap drugs. They probably never had to pay for drugs because everybody there was stoned all the time. And that's why you see a lot of these people who tour and tour and tour, because making the music doesn't make you the money. Doing the tours makes you the money. So when Tool announced they were on tour, and right away I see a comment like, oh, it's going to be the same 10 songs I heard in 2006. My attitude was, yeah, and shut up and enjoy it because they're touring, you idiot. Tool doesn't tour very often. Just let them tour and shut up. And shut up, too, while you're at it. Shut up. Thankfully, somebody made that comment right away. Like, yeah, I will listen to the same 10 songs and be thankful. Because Tool is back together. Which means Maynard's finally going to record the vocal tracks and we're going to hear new Tool. Because I've been waiting since 10,000 days. It feels like 10,000 days since 10,000 days. Because Maynard loves to be dramatic. And then in the middle of it, he puts out a Puscifer album. And I love Puscifer, too. Puscifer, Puscifer. Why is it every band I listen to and every artist I listen to has some weird name except Tool? Or Korn. But Korn spelled with a K, because you can't spell it with a C, because then it's just Korn. So, and it would look funny at that point. You'd expect it to be like country western music if it was just Korn with a C. But, yeah, I'm just glad Tool's back together. So, Puscifer, though, I would recommend as well. Man Overboard, which is a song about jacking off. And it is. Listen to the lyrics. It's a song about jacking off. Man Overboard. If you can get two versions of the song going at once, so you have it like loaded on YouTube, and then you have another tab open where it's open on YouTube or whatever you're doing. It says, brace yourself at 12. Okay. If you start the second, okay, so you start the song, and then 12 seconds in, you start your second tab that has that same song loaded up, they'll match. The song plays in a round. It's really weird, and it sounds fantastic. And I got that from a comment on the Man Overboard video, where they said, if you play two versions, or I don't want to say two versions, because then people are going to be looking for another version of Man Overboard. If you play Man Overboard twice at the same time, and there's 12 seconds between the first and second instance, they will match perfectly. It is really cool. It is really cool. So, there you go. There's your homework. And just general music stuff. So I'm going to get a lot of copyright strikes, but they're not really copyright strikes. It's just more of these guys are monetizing your video. And I'll go through all of that before I post this. So thanks for watching. I hope this is a more upbeat, insightful Shannon video than just discussing what's going on in hockey, because, you know, I find this stuff is fun too. I just don't have a channel for it. So I want to give you guys some more content to make it worthwhile to give money to Patreon for my content. All right, it still seems really weird to say it. I will admit, it's really, really weird to say it. It sounds really weird. I still find it weird. Everybody in this house finds it weird. But thank you very much for supporting me, and I'll talk to you all again soon.